Snaps, 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 snaps. And we're off, I do believe. We are streaming live on, let's see, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, YouTube, DLive, Facebook, and Twitch. Can you believe it? Hake is still on Twitch. Very nice. Even JLP doesn't stream his daily show on Twitch because he's more known probably. So I get away with it. It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. Can you hear me on this video feed here on? Nice. I like to check the Odyssey stream sometimes. Did I say Wednesday, December 14th, 2022 AD? And we will have a fun, I hope it's a fun show. I think it will be, hopefully. I thought Keke Palmer yesterday made me want to hurl. Sorry, kids. Wait until I read snippets. That part will be a loosey-goosey segment of this Fatherly article. Ever heard of a website called Fatherly? Might as well be the Good Men Project. Cringe. Liberal website put together by females and female-minded males. I can only assume. I have a fun clip of Sleepy Joe, who may as well be black, you know. He's so entertaining in his nuttiness. But so evil still. He is creepy and sleazy. He is. It's a fact. It's gross. And I do have a clip from that, from the based coach who I have known about all my life because I know sports. Hake knows sports. Just kidding around. This Mike Leach man, a little 2016 clip. Rest in peace, Mike Leach. We heard from a guy that he's dead now. Rest in peace. But, and then some other things. I have some information about New Zealand's female leadership, and because they're banning smoking for the younger generations and beyond, or so goes the plan. Plan Mama, in my opinion. Not that I'm for smoking, kids, but. And speaking of smoking, kids, which is a vulgar way to put it. Okay, I admit it's vulgar, but it's the 10th anniversary of some kids getting killed. I don't want to say smoked because it sounds too vulgar to say it that way. And all that and your calls if you would like to call in. But anyway, guys, let's get right on. Is that annoying? With the show!
Have you been naughty or nice?
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. La, la, la. It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. La, la, la. It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how y'all doing? I am fine. Yes, I am streaming on Rumble, I do believe. Let's see. Let me prove it to you. Go to rumble.com/The Hake Report. And indeed, it's happening. It's been happening for, we're going on 2 weeks now. That's cool. I'm shivering a little bit because it's chilly out there, but it's nice in the studio. It's perfect. Slightly stuffy, but we're used to it. So, let's talk about these mamas. There's a male mama playing president of the United States of America. And some, such as JLP, suggest that he may not even realize that he's quote-unquote president. Sleepy Joe for the trans kids. That's why I call him a mama. Not the good kind of mother. Not the mama bear type of mama. I found this clip on Twitter from Still Gray, one of those independent journalists whom I appreciate at times, right? Ian Miles Cheong. And he tweeted this out, paraphrasing Dr. Jill Biden's husband's, she's not a medical doctor, message saying, quote, well, this is a quote from Still Gray. Anyone who criticizes surgeons who perform transgender surgeries is responsible for racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, etc. Because it's all, quote, connected, unquote. And that quote, connected, unquote, is from Biden, which is Obama, part 3. Obama. Man, that's annoying. So listen to this, clip 11, diving right into clip 11, guys. Are you happy? Here's Sleepy Joe talking. Oh, and it's funny. I think Ian Miles Cheong may not be a fan of Sleepy Joe Biden because the way he cut this clip, it's in the middle of him like coughing or sneezing or something. And he goes, excuse me. So anyway, enjoy. Here's Sleepy Joe.
Excuse me, because they support LGBTQ children and families, we have to speak out. We must stop the hate and violence, like we just saw in Colorado Springs, where a place of acceptance and celebration was targeted for violence and terror. We need to challenge the hundreds of callous, cynical laws introduced in the states targeting transgender children, terrifying families, and criminalizing doctors who give children the care they need. We have to protect these children so they know they're loved, and we will stand up for them and say they can seek for themselves. Folks,
Who's clapping?
Racism.
Washington, D.C., I bet.
anti-Semitism, homophobia, transphobia, they're all connected. But the antidote to hate is love. This law and the love it defends strike a blow against hate in all its forms. And that's why this law matters to every single American, no matter who you are or who you love. This shouldn't be about conservative or liberal, red or blue. No, this is about realizing the promise of the Declaration of Independence, a promise rooted in a sacred and secular beliefs, a promise that we're all created equal.
We're all created equal. So was this from when I'm asking, was this from when Sleepy Joe, because yesterday I heard Sleepy Joe will, according to CNN, and I didn't see him do it, fake crowd applauding. He said a lot there. It's hard to keep up with all the things that he said. I wonder if he has trouble keeping up with himself. Was this when he signed that interracial and same-sex marriage bill? The Respect for Marriage Act? Is that it? I don't know. And then he wandered off as he's prone to do. He's prone to wander as Hake does, really. Onto some rabbit trail, unrelated somewhat, but very somewhat related, into like transgender, giving the children the care they need. What kind of love is this? It's the wrong kind of love. That's why I say that people don't know what love is. Partly why. When he talks, I hear Charlie Brown's teacher talking. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, with the muffler or whatever it's called, suppressor. I'm using the wrong things, using the wrong terms, on a trumpet, right? It almost sounds like that. Anyway, Sleepy Joe saying racism, anti-Semitism, or anti-Semitism, homophobia, transphobia, it's all connected. We need to give kids the care they need, show that they are loved. And he's the one guilty of the callous and cynical law passing. Yeah, the Rhino Republicans do this mess too. But he's accusing the people, the state legislatures that are not for the transgender, in the wrong sports, in the wrong bathrooms and things like that. And the so-called Don't Say Gay bill, like pushing the gay stuff on children 8 years old and under. They shouldn't push it on. It shouldn't be allowed in schools. Period. Period. It's sick. And he's accusing them of terrifying the families. What a communist. Isn't that communism? Where they're in calling the truth lies and lies truth and good evil and evil good. It's evil for sure. It's evil for sure. Sicko. Anyway, that's Sleepy Joe for the trans kids. And we've already known that he was for them. He's like, if an 8-year-old feels like he's a girl, you should let him do it. Something like that. I told you yesterday from CNN how he had an evolution that culminated 10 years ago. Another anniversary, another grim anniversary, just like the Sandy Hook anniversary. They love the mass murder. And they love the mass murder of souls with promoting the same-sex madness, where he came out in support of same-sex marriage. He came out in favor of so-called same-sex marriage, Sleepy Joe did, before Obama came out in favor of it. Although maybe Obama was for it before him. Who knows? I don't know. But Obama was hiding and lying, pretending that he wasn't for it. Because Jesse knew, I've told this story many times, so you may be tired of me saying it. Tired of hearing me saying it. But JLP, Jesse Lee Peterson, said back in 2007 or 8, when Obama was on the scene but not elected president yet, I don't think, that this man is for same-sex marriage. And some kids, cover your ears, dumb, okay, uncover them, reporter woman fact-checked Jesse Lee Peterson saying, he said that he's not for same-sex marriage, it's for a traditional marriage between a man and a woman. That's what Obama said that he's for. No. Jesse Lee knew, maybe because he was, Sean Hannity was all over it back then. He was on top of the situation with Obama. Sean Hannity, I heard. And others. We knew that he was fake. He was a liar. He was a lying sleaze. And it's so rich that liars like Clinton, Obama, and the mainstream media accused Trump of being a liar. Pfft, give me a break. Sorry, I spit a little bit when I did that noise. So, beta legs, don't say that. Just a little heads up for you guys before I get to calls. I've been meaning to talk about this. I answered JLP's biblical question. I changed my answer today. And part of the reason for my changing my answer was that I tell people, stick with what you know. It's like a lesson maybe that I've picked up from my years working as producer for JLP and different things. It was that you have to, and hearing on the, going to church with JLP and all that stuff. And it's common sense. Stick with what you know. Because Beta Leg says, I'd be willing to bet that Joe Biden spends his time bothering trans children. There's an M word for bothering, right? An M word for bothering, which I won't repeat. MOLEST. But I disavow that talk. But we don't know. It may be a funny joke on the part of Beta Legs. Shout out to Beta Legs. Is that Beta Legs Ben on D Live? Stick with what you know. It's like those people who know the earth is flat. Pfft, you don't know that. I don't think you know that. The way you talk to me, you don't convince me that you know that. Right? And we love the flat earthers here on the Hake Report and on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. If we love anybody. A little sniffing ain't necessarily molested. And the wandering fingers and hands isn't necessarily that. These people over on Rumble Rants, which is not a super chat, but it's a Rumble live chat. Alan, the artist, says P word, meaning for children like her, not in the right way. Biden. P word Biden. No, you don't know that. He is perverted, though. Because how can you not be perverted if you're willing to pervert your values and pretend years ago, decades ago, phony politician Joe Biden said, a marriage is between a man and a woman, period. Something to that effect. And now he's changing everything. Just going with the flow, blown and buffeted by the waves. What a phony. That's perverted. So in that sense, I agree with you. He is creepy, he is perverted, and that is evil towards children. Because they're for brainwashing children to believe wrong is right. Sickos. So, just FYI. David C. says, a little pedoing and child blood sacrifice. Why am I laughing at that? Anyway, I'm just saying, stick with what you know, not with what you don't. Okay, so let me get to a call or two, guys, before I get to this fatherly article, which is anything but fatherly. It's gross. Art in Ohio is on the line. Let me get to him. Art, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. How you doing, Hake?
Doing fine, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna try to run down this and whatnot so I remember everything I was saying.
Okay.
All right, let's start off with the transgender, the man girls. We had two of them. One of them gave information over to Russia or whatnot. This in the Biden administration. That's a fall guy. The one who stole the lady's stuff about the airport, that's a fall guy. The dude who assassinated JFK, that was a fall guy. They said it was only one shot that came from one place or whatnot. We know that allegedly that ain't true, that there was multiple people that was on the ground around when it happened and said they heard multiple shots. That was a fall guy. And this FTX Friedman dude or whatnot, he's a fall guy or whatnot.
Interesting take. Did you?
And you lie.
You know, I zoned out for a second. Did you mention the Las Vegas shooter?
The Las Vegas shooter?
Yeah.
Prime example. Another fall guy.
Okay.
Somebody else is, and it's an agenda or whatnot. But I find it awfully funny that the Democrats and Rhino Republicans and people and these politicians are using these people as fall guys or whatnot.
Yeah, it's like Balenciaga, another sort of a fall company, because that whole industry is corrupt. It's sick, perverted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I would say that with the FTX, the Friedman dude or whatnot, because you can look at this dude.
I have pictures of him. Look at him. Okay, go ahead.
And tell
Freed.
Or tell whatnot. You mean to tell me all y'all people listened to this dude and thought to believe that, we were going to go ahead and give this dude a whole bunch of money, and then he ends up screwing y'all up. You can look at him, and I guess I was watching some little clips of whatnot. They were showing that he's a vegan or whatnot. Yeah. A whole bunch of stuff you can tell and look and see that he was pandering to you people and scammed y'all out of money. But my thing is this or whatnot. I don't feel, I know that y'all sit there and these politicians, y'all knew what was going on or whatnot, but instead of y'all shutting it down, y'all was taking money from this guy, and then when it came out or whatnot, that the company was going down, everybody took their money and they ran and now they hired, and now he's the fall guy or whatnot. And I'm thinking the smartest thing that probably could have happened is he probably getting locked up or what. I don't know if it is or if it ain't, because it look like he might get Epstein in there. You see what I'm saying? Versus if you would have let him stay out and he'd have got questioned by the Congress or whatnot, we would have got some of these answers or whatnot. But I don't know if that's a good or a negative that he's in jail or he ain't, because I'm thinking if he was out, they would have got the questioning or whatnot. But you know, just like I know, when they do all this questioning or whatnot, whatever happens, y'all do all these investigations or whatnot, just like DeSantis said he's going to start an investigation on this COVID-19 thing. At the end of the day, y'all do all these investigations, but I don't never see no politicians get locked up. Only a Fried Freeman or whatnot getting locked up when we know it's a whole bunch of people that had their hand in the cookie jar or whatnot. But y'all get who y'all want to get. Y'all picking and choosing who y'all want to lock up. If you ain't with the cool crowd like Freeman and his little weirdo-looking, alien-looking girlfriend, I don't know what she is or whatnot. If you ain't with the cool crowd, then you get locked up. But if you in the in crowd or whatnot, we don't do nothing to you or whatnot. We hide your hand and we hide you and we protect you or whatnot. And it's a whole bunch of nonsense, just like I was telling Nick or whatnot. You putting a whole bunch of these females in positions, and everybody and their mama, every alpha male and every alpha female around this world in the United States know that too many of these females are not equipped to be in these leadership positions, especially in the time that we are in. And I can even go to say that I'm not for Joe Biden and I'm not for Hillary Clinton, I'm not for Obama, but you can't sit here and put everything. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying people, even me, I can't sit here and blame and put everything on them for the way America is. At some point in time, we as American people or whatnot, and as a city, we got to take accountability as ourselves, because we sit here and letting a lot of this stuff going on or whatnot, and then when it's all said and done, i.e., or, we in that war or whatnot with Russia, then when it's all said and done, now everybody's scared. They tucking their tail. They don't know what to do or whatnot. So at a point in time, when are we going to get, as American people, going to get fed up? Because the way we're going is not good. You got, just like you was talking about with these this transgender marriage or whatnot, whole bunch of nonsense. You pushing a whole bunch of this nonsense, and it's bigger stuff that we could be worried about. But you putting this stuff in front of us instead of handling the stuff that we need to be handling.
Yeah. It's interesting how they direct our attention with these interesting, controversial stories for us to argue about while they pull crazy shenanigans that we either don't know about or don't pay much attention to or don't think is important or who knows what, or don't even hear about.
And then, going back to what I was saying, if you don't hold these people accountable, just like I'll be talking about the NBA or whatnot, and if the NBA, players don't stand up and whatnot, you always going to get bullied. If the American people don't call for justice from these politicians and career-long politicians or whatnot to be held criminally accountable, then they're going to stay taking advantage of the American citizens or whatnot. Until somebody being held criminally accountable for the stuff that they're doing or whatnot in these political position there, judges, FBI, CIA members, they're going to keep taking advantage and putting the American people's lives in danger or whatnot. And something about with these the transgenders or whatnot, y'all talking about they getting married or whatnot. Well, that's cool. They can get married all they want. The Christians and the Baptists and stuff like that, that's all new and made up. But the Hebrews and the tribe of Judah, we don't accept none of that or whatnot. You can't get married. A man and man can't get married. So all them new denominations, if they cool, they want to have lesbians and gays in their choirs and gays being pastors and females being pastors and as Christians. That's cool. They can do that on that left side. But I know in the tribe of Judah, we don't settle and we don't acknowledge that. You see what I'm saying? All this is new stuff that's been started now or whatnot.
That's one thing that I do appreciate about the Black Hebrew Israelites and is that they don't go along with that thing. The same with some of these Muslim countries like Indonesia that you heard about on JLP today and on Hake yesterday. They don't go for even sex out of wedlock. Well, I don't know about the Hebrew Israelites, but nice.
They don't.
Right on, man.
Something else I'm saying, one more thing, I'm going to get up off here. If you remember when Trump was in office or whatnot, I talked to you around the time or whatnot. I said back then, that I've been heard about the COVID-19 like 3-4 months before it even came out on the mainstream media.
Right.
But you had Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff and Chuck Schumer and Cuomo. They was pushing all this collusion, let's impeach and stuff or whatnot the whole time. y'all could have been worried and focused about the COVID-19 because it wasn't in the media at that time.
Yeah.
So I know if I knew about it 3 months before it came on the media, I know that them politicians knew about it. But instead of y'all worried about that because it wasn't something serious and y'all knew it, y'all wanted to keep pushing this impeachment stuff.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the only thing Donald Trump could do at that time was cover himself because he was damned if he did and damned if he didn't or whatnot.
Yep.
Is go ahead and push the vaccine because if he wouldn't have pushed the vaccines and maybe it did the lockdown, y'all would have said he put a whole look what the Big Don did or whatnot. He didn't protect America's citizens and shut America down.
I know.
So he had to play the cards like how he played it because that's how the Democrats laid the cards out. So yeah, we still rolling with Trump and all respects to the Don or whatnot. And Father God is going to keep blessing him. And we're going to keep following the commandments. And thank you so much for your time, Hake.
Well, thank you, Art. I totally agree. Appreciate it, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. People are like, oh, Trump, a vaccine salesman. It's so... He won't acknowledge that it's killing people. Well, what does he know? Maybe he does know. But I don't know. I don't even know. Of course, all I read is CNN. And then I listen to you callers with your crazy, crazy talk. Anyway. It may not be really a laughing matter because it is pretty crazy what people go through. I'm going to talk about the health stuff. And he mentioned something else that I want to talk about. Just about how the loyalties of the American establishment and the left and the rhinos is just for everything evil and against the best. It's like America's not... I'm sorry, America's not America anymore. So shameful. But let me get to this article that I came across on Pocket. You know, the far left... it gathers this far left outlet called Pocket is not even really an outlet. It's just this thing that's now owned by Firefox, Mozilla, a web browser. And they promote Pocket articles, which Pocket doesn't even make its own articles hardly that I know of. They just gather liberal articles from other sources and push it on people. And it seems oriented towards females, in my opinion. But somehow this is for males. Look at this article, Fatherly, on partners. Fatherly is the outlet. Fatherly.com, I think. Let me see. Yeah, fatherly.com. Fatherly. But they're not very fatherly, more like motherly, like the wrong kind of mama-ly. On partners, more like a different something T. On relationships. So this is 25 small, simple ways. Look at the picture. Don't look at the picture. Cover your eyes, kids. Okay, so it's like a man's hand, purported man, with a purported woman's hand on top of it. Like a relationship, like they're clasping their fingers together. On a couch, on a sofa. Oh, so artistic. 25 small, simple ways to be a better partner. Right now! And this came out last year, but they also put out another version this year, I think, if I'm looking at it correctly. And who wrote this? Who wrote this article? It's by Fatherly. That's not a person. That's not a person. Other articles by this person whom they call Fatherly, this author whom they call Fatherly. I bet it's a woman hiding behind the writing of this article. Other articles, let's see. Other articles by Fatherly. How to stop her temper tantrum in kids. 33 hilarious Christmas jokes for kids. 147 of the very best dad jokes. Hold on, callers, I will get to you. How embarrassing. This is what they've reduced men to. Oh, here's another one by Fatherly. 6 gaslighting phrases. Only liberals use that word nowadays, but they're the ones most guilty of it. Only women use this, and they're the ones most guilty of it. lying people, lying ladies. Gaslighting is Merriam-Webster's 2022 word of the year. I covered this. Here's how to be sure it's never used to describe you. Wow. Yeah, right. You tell the truth, and you're going to be accused of gaslighting. Like Trump told the truth, and they accuse him of gaslighting. They're the biggest liars. Gaslighting is lying to people to their face about what they're seeing. And that's what liberals do, and everybody, I guess. Anyway, the fatherly article starts off like this. Relationships require work. And if you want to be a better partner, I wonder if I would be reacting like this if I weren't trained by JLP, because JLP doesn't like the word partner. I don't think that I would have fallen for that word, but maybe I would have. Who knows? Who falls for this, though? Who reads this article and thinks, yeah, this is good advice? I mean, some of it may be good advice. Well, you have to try to be a better partner. That's how you be a better partner. If you want to be a better partner, you have to try to be a better partner. It's as simple as that. Shut up. It's so simple they have 25 different things to do. At least they say wife later. Making more of an effort to connect every day, or voicing more appreciation for your wife. See, doesn't this seem like it's taking the advice of some woman for how to be a man and a husband? Have more serious conversations about household equity. Equity? What do they mean by equity in household equity? Are they talking about the value of your home or something like that? I don't know finance stuff related to home ownership. Is that what they mean by equity, or do they mean equality? Woman is equal. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, 1, schedule time to connect every day. As the Jews say, man plans, God laughs. It's a Yiddish phrase I hear, but that's not the Yiddish for it. Schedule time to connect every day. That's the first thing. Reminds me of, I remember, I don't know. I don't want to tell that story. But it's kind of like how people think, oh, if you just keep in touch, then anger won't rise up. Yes, it will. That's when anger rises up. Let your spouse feel your presence. Focus on your hellos and goodbyes. Validate more often. Validate. Practice responding rather than reacting. Well, that's good advice, right? Don't just react. Don't go with the emotional knee-jerk reaction. That's good advice, right? And they quote some woman, Dr. Lauren Cook. I assume that's a woman. Try the compliment sandwich. Oh, that's where you give a compliment and then a criticism and then another compliment. Vow to be a better listener. Women don't listen. But this is fatherly advice for the fathers. But women are the ones who don't listen. Anyway, or men stop listening. They tune out. They zone out. They start hearing the Charlie Brown teacher. Right? Prioritize your mental health. See, I told you this was liberal. Talk about the S word more. S-E-X. Gross. I'm not going into what they're talking about. Maybe I'll read through it and see if they have any good advice inside of it at a later time. Make your household equity a priority. What does that mean? Oh, recognize the hidden labor that women take. So they're not talking about finance. They're talking about equity. Appreciate what the woman has to do. Dumb. I mean, anyway. But that's not a household equity. That's the wrong word for it. Know your attachment style and take ownership of it. Attachment style sounds like liberal relationship mumbo jumbo, doesn't it? Practice taking the lead. That's good advice, right? Anyway, be intentional about affirming your partner more. Makes me want to spit. I grabbed my spittoon and I forgot it. The real Mr. Mad. Do what you said you would do. Well, sometimes you got to change your mind and not do what you said you would do. I remember I said I would do something, And I'm like, no, this is not right. Finally did the right thing. So sometimes you don't do what you said you would do. Sometimes you shouldn't do what you said you would do. Because what you said you would do, you had no business doing. Be empathetic when your partner is experiencing distress. Empathetic, another liberal word. Aim for more eye contact. Touch more. No, I got advice from one man saying, never touch a woman. And he quoted the Bible. The Bible even says it. It's good for a man not to touch a woman. So they're saying well, I mean, at least it's supposedly your wife, right, I guess. Learn your partner's love language. Be assertive. That's good. Go big on gratitude. Oh, thank you so much, honey. Invest in more quality time, whatever that means. And they quote some woman, Dr. Anjani Amladi, nice American name, board-certified adult psychiatrist. Forget her. She may have good advice, though. Who knows? A little bit mixed in with the evil. Understand yourself better. Well, that's good. Find your own happiness. So they're trying. I like that. Set goals together. Goals. Set your goals. Great. Isn't that a great album? Set your goals. Anybody into straight edge? Who did that album? Set your goals. Talk about the relationship you want to have. Anyway, that was number 25. Talk about the relationship you want to have. And they quote another woman, Gabrielle Usatnitinsky, a licensed professional counselor and relationship expert. Well, maybe I'll get into this. That was me pretending to spit. Maybe I'll get into the specifics. I'll read through the specifics, but I wanted to give you an overview. And to me, when I read these headlines, I'm like, as a male, and just I'm not a normal person, but as if I were a normal person, I'm like, shut up. Sorry, kids, don't say that. But who reads this and thinks, anyway, what kind of male would read an article like that? Well, I did. Okay, never mind. Who knows? Maybe I'll take the advice, some of it, and spit out most of it, which is chaff, trash. That was a bit anticlimactic, right? Anyway, I will talk about the Kiwis who have the government's playing mama, and one of the mamas is a at lesbian with a partner, speaking of partners, and a daughter. Not good. But let me get to Rick in Maine. Let's get to some calls. You can call in 888-775-3773. Rick, how are you doing?
Doing well. I'm back in the state, and here in just a little bit, I'm going to be headed home, hopefully.
Nice. Ahead of the beat that winter storm. Do you call it a winter storm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a winter storm.
Because the weather is not a respecter of the calendar
Mother Nature
seasons.
does what she wants to.
Yep.
Ain't no doubt about that.
Nice.
Comment on what the story was there that you did earlier on Jesse's show about the missiles, Patriot missiles going into Ukraine.
Yeah, I read about that in Hake News, that the Biden administration wants to send Patriot missile defense system to Ukraine, war welfare, to fight against Russia.
Yeah. I'm dead set against that.
Yeah, fair enough. Why?
It's going to repeat Vietnam. All these warmongers want to do is keep that snowball rolling so they got money coming into their pockets. It's disgusting. You'd rather stick your nose into a war with a country where we don't even have anything to gain about it. And these people are killing people left and right. People, if you're going to get into a war with another country for no reason, go fight it yourself. Because we don't need American blood over there on that land without a purpose. That was Vietnam all over. So, getting with your liberal rats and everything else that's in there, it's not going to do a whole heck of a lot of good because they're going to do whatever the heck they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's all for gaining money. That's all it's for. So you're putting money over life. Congratulations. You're a butcher. Thanks, James.
Thank you, Rick.
Have a
Appreciate
good one,
it.
buddy.
All right. You too. Take care. Kevin Howe asks, does he feel the same about Israel funding? Are we funding? I know we're funding like the Iron Dome in Israel, which prevents the rockets from hitting, the rockets from Hamas or whatever. And people say that a lot of the wars that are going on in the Middle East that we've participated in have been on Israel's behalf. I don't know. Probably some truth to it. Liberals, asks Frankie BLM, it's the conservatives who want war. Yeah, okay. That's why Sleepy Joe is funding it. That's real conservative of Sleepy Joe. Anyway. Yeah, liberals love death, and so do the rhinos. I will talk about that in a second. You know what? First, let me get to who, though? Frankie in California, another expert on what's going on in Ukraine. Frederick. Did I say Frankie? I meant Frederick in California. How are you doing?
How's it going, Hake? Good morning.
Good morning. Going fine.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about what America has to gain by backing Ukraine.
Okay. Do you think they have something to gain?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's this fake facade that we're the greatest country on the earth.
That's not a real gain. You tricked me.
I mean, that's the same thing as the kosher people keeping the fake facade, and once it's unveiled, it's going to be a problem. So we got to keep the fake facade so other countries will stay in place.
What's the fake facade? I'm afraid to ask. I'm almost afraid I hesitate to ask. But what's the fake facade of the Jewish people?
You know, come on now.
What's the facade? What's the facade? Tell me.
I ain't trying to get you taken down.
I know, but what's in the nice way, the clean way to say it? What's the facade?
The fake kosher people.
Oh, that they're not real kosher people. They're fake kosher people. That's the facade?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why when they interviewed this rabbi,
of course I disavow.
And it was like, why is this so dangerous? And it's like, because if we keep this up, everybody will be like dispersing their money amongst the country like it needs to be instead of overseas and distribution companies for parallel imports and stuff.
Oh, I didn't follow that. But anyway, I appreciate you not wanting to get my channel taken down.
Yeah. What do you think about war?
What do I think about war, or what do I think of that war? What did you ask?
Of that war.
Of that war, the one in Ukraine?
Yes, sir.
I don't think much about it, except when it comes up in the news, which I guess is a lot, which I read CNN, you know. And so I'm like, here's your daily dose of Ukraine propaganda. I read it almost daily to the people.
As powerful as the United States is, do you think it's fair that we should just take the countries that's not in NATO as long as we have the power to?
Take the countries that are not in NATO?
Yes,
Let me finish answering the question about what do I think of the war. In brief, I think Russia has the right to attack, and Ukraine has the right to defend, and America has the right, I guess, and NATO has the right, I guess, even though it's, in my opinion, it's wrong, to subsidize Ukraine's war. But it makes me want to spit, the fact that we're supporting it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We being
Okay.
the American establishment. I'm not the establishment, I don't think.
Well, with this one-party system we got up, it seems like everybody's moving to unions. With Joe Biden being a union president, unions are going to run the world because there's democracy inside the company.
No, they're not.
They make the employers pay you more.
Okay. I get you.
Give you
Okay.
more days off.
Okay, I take it back. Yeah, democracy, because democracy is evil. It's pure evil. Mob rule. The mob. Basically, it's
not
the mob.
rule.
It is. It's
It's
the
not-
mob rule.
If all the United States citizens are the mob,
What's
then it's
democracy
mob
mean? Majority rules. What's the
rule.
majority?
All the citizens
Evil.
vote. All the citizens vote. They don't mean all the citizens rule.
No, because
All
the
the citizens
the
vote.
mob rules. The majority rules.
The majority vote.
The majority
That's how
is
we
the
elect
mob.
presidents. This is a republic. We go by electoral college anyway. You can win the
Electoral.
majority vote and still lose.
I know, but you just said democracy's taking over.
In the workplace.
Yeah, that's
because
disgusting,
they
huh?
know,
We should have a republic in every company, not a democracy.
no, because the company.
So, in my opinion, we should have a dictatorship in every company.
No, because
Yes.
the Republicans don't pay taxes and they support their Republican Party with the tax money that
Republicans
they don't
pay taxes like crazy. What are you talking about? They don't pay taxes.
Not corporate tax. I'm talking about the corporation.
Who cares?
They use their money to fund Republicans.
No, that's
And
not true.
Democrats use
The
the
major
union-
that is
union
such a
dues.
lie. The major corporations support demon rats.
No,
You're
the
way
Koch
behind.
brothers and all of the people that don't want to, all the emissions going into pollution, they like global warming's fake. We're not paying no damn taxes on this bull. And then they go like, we're gonna fire some workers if y'all make us raise the minimum wage.
Have you
And they
fallen?
got all these profits.
Are you a climate hype believer?
Who?
Are you a climate hype believer?
Oh yes, I believe the world is warming up.
To a catastrophic level?
Just to the level where black people can go outside due to their melanin.
Well, then that's
And-
good. You believe that's good then, right?
I don't believe it's good. I think we need to stop it.
You think we can stop
We're
it?
paying other countries reparations for not having emissions going into the air. So if you're a country with no factories, you get a check from other countries that's polluting because you got to breathe contaminated air.
You think we can stop it?
No, we can't stop it.
Then
Too much
why are you
compassion
saying we
out
should
here.
try to stop it if we can't stop it?
Hold on, you think I should stop reparations to the poor countries?
No, I'm talking about stopping the pollution. Which I don't know if
Yes, that's
I don't know
what
if
climate
CO2
change
is exactly pollution.
Yes, that's what climate change is. We try to put fines on major corporations that's polluting, and they like, no, take them regulations off these companies and let them thrive.
You're a
And they
mess.
like, but you're killing and you're taking the money and putting it back into these poor countries that don't even have any factories. So you're not. Why don't you pay the workers and then find a system to get rid of the contaminant? You know what I'm saying? A charcoal filter system when it gets released. It's not that hard.
You lost me.
It's just the non-believers.
I lost track. I don't care about what you're talking about. I don't know or care about what you're
Dang,
talking about.
Okay.
I mean, it
But
sounds
unions
like you
are
may
plus.
know something, but I don't know. I don't follow. I don't
Unions
care.
are plus. Vote for unions. They're just like the Democratic Party, but inside the job. You know, they can give us
That
more
doesn't
and they
say-
refuse to.
You think you said the unions are just like the Democrat Party, but inside the companies, inside the job?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think that's
They've
a good thing?
proven that they've proven
And you
that
think
the
that's a good
companies can
thing?
give us more. Yes, it's a good thing. It's certainty. When you're in a union, you have certainty that I'm getting the best deal possible.
I'm shaking my head. You're a mess.
Have a good day, Hake. I just
Thanks,
called
man.
to mess with you. Give you a little bit to think about. You know, you and your callers. I know that you don't like me, but hey, I be having real issues. to
Okay.
Think about.
So do you support the missile defense for Ukraine?
Yeah.
That's more global warming, you know.
A missile defense system?
Yep.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
not
it is.
global warming.
Yes, it is.
They practice shooting missiles in Fort Knox every day.
That's global warming. If true.
I mean, our soldiers got to have practice, right?
No, they don't.
You going to send them to war unprepared?
No, they don't have to go to war at all.
In a perfect world, true. But when you have somebody like Putin just
I'm
saying,
done.
we want this country, we want that country, we
Let
want
him
that
take it.
country. Why don't we take it?
Because we're not interested in Ukraine, I don't think.
I'm sure we're interested in any other land we can have to send some illegal immigrants if we had extra space. But it's against the law.
I got to go.
All right, hey, have a good day.
You too. Take care. That was Frederick in California. Okay, before I get back to calls and stuff, I want to cover the Kiwis. Talk about this lady, and I may be using the term loosely. And I read this in Hake News. This commie nonsense quoted this lady. Thousands of people will live longer and healthier lives, says Ayesha Veral. And I have some pictures of this lady. New Zealand's Associate Health Minister. Looks a little too healthy for my taste. Teeth are white, but is that natural white? And I called her a corpulent because I don't like to abuse the word fat. Lesbian. With a partner. Well, I guess, are the who's healthier or less healthy, the lesbians or the normal or the gays? It's normal. The lesbians or the gays? Meaning the males. The male radical homosexual offenders. Because the males are dying because of the cancer and the AIDS and stuff, I think more, right? And then the lesbians because women are more emotional driven and males are more like visual driven. The males get fit to be attractive because they turn into like women. And then the females are not trying to be attractive for any males, so they just get fat because it's all about the emotions. And so they just turn into fat lesbians. No offense. We don't fat shame here or lesbian shame. But she has a partner, Alice, and a daughter something. And she's in charge in New Zealand. Yeah, she belongs in charge of New Zealand. Well, she's part something and part something. Doesn't she look part white maybe? She's from Maldives. Maldives? It's a POC country as I understand it. The country's parliament, New Zealand, the Kiwis, they passed a landmark anti-smoking bill on Tuesday. JLP covered this. I have other pictures of her. By the way, I found out that she is indeed lesbian because she participated in some pride parade. Look, there's her Twitter. She almost looks like Rosie O'Donnell in From Far Away. Minister of COVID-19, Minister of Research, Science, and Innovation, Minister for Seniors, Health, Labor MP, Labor Member of Parliament. Labor is the Communist Party over there, right? I think. Passionate about prevention. From Wellington City, New Zealand. Dr. Ayesha Veral. This is from her Facebook from May 2019. If you're looking at the video feed, cover your eyes, kids. It's disgusting. Pride still matters in 2019, she wrote on her Facebook page. For families like mine, she thinks she has a family because she has a partner named Alice and a 6 or probably 8-year-old daughter named something, somehow. How they got a daughter, I don't know. And for many of the people I care for as a doctor. Wonderful vibe in Wellington, New Zealand today. So even New Zealand, talk about globo-homo, globalist homogeneity of these false values. Once a Christian nation with a city called Christchurch. And look at that male down there, relentlessly proud banner he's holding, proud of being disgusting. and the Labor Party. Labor means evil, right? Apparently, over there. Labor doesn't mean work anymore. It means evil. This is the unions that are taking over the world, Frederick. You support this mess, these disgusting displays? And this boy here, I think that's a guy. Or is that I don't know. I don't want to assume. Relentlessly proud. They are relentless. Evil is relentless. There she is. She was named after a grandmother who died of like fever, like typhoid fever maybe, or some type of fever. So she understands the impacts of a health tragedy on families. So she has some tragedy in her life. She's a real person. Don't be mean to her. Have I already been mean to her? I'm not trying to be mean. Just trying to be frank, but still respecting the censors, so I don't get censored. Because we don't do hate speech here. Frederick the Great's his laughing faces. Why did I call him Frederick the Great? Because that's his username. I don't really think he's necessarily that great. So anyway, this law, they're banning the sale of tobacco for the next generation. And I heard on the Jesse Lee Peterson show that it's anybody who was born after 2009. You can't get your cigarettes, 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, or whatever you are. What a shame, huh? They can't go buy their parents' cigarettes and steal some of them or whatever. Don't do that, kids. The new law is part of a wider government push to make the country smoke-free by 2025. That'll get rid of the pollution, air pollution, right? Frederick, you part of this? Maybe he supports this. How did they appropriate the rainbow? They do that to everything. Satan's been appropriating God's words since the beginning and manipulating them. You will not surely die. He's a snake lying to your face, Eve, and Eve lies to your face, Adam, or whatever. Smoke-free by 2025. Violations of the new law are punishable by fines of 150 New Zealand dollars. And I said that that's 96,000 real dollars. Shout out to the Kiwis. You guys listening to the Hake Report? What time is it over there? What is it, like 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. or who knows what? Tomorrow? I say it's Wednesday, December 14th. 2022 AD, but it's already the 15th for them because they're so far ahead. Slow down, new Kiwis. And I've talked trash, I'll say trash instead of the C word for poop, about New Zealand before because I talked about their New Zealand Prime Minister. Have I shown all of the pictures? I think I did of her, of Dr. Aisha Verrell. Show Jacinda Ardern. Yeah, it's tomorrow, 7 a.m. in parts of New Zealand. It's a big country, right? Or is it? Anyway, show Jacinda Ardern, who looks maybe perhaps healthier, but I'm not sure. That's Jacinda Ardern. She's the New Zealand Prime Minister. I've talked crap about her. Sorry, kids, don't say that. I can't help but, I don't know how else to say it. I don't have the vocabulary. I need to practice vocab. I need to listen to more rap. Rappers have good vocabularies. Except when they cuss all the time, every other word, the F word. But look at her pantsuit. She looks like she borrowed it from this red. She borrowed it from Santa Claus, or from Hillary Clinton, same thing. She looks like she needs to grow into it. She's roughly my age, a little older maybe. Has a child, I think, now. She gave birth in office. And she lives with a male partner. Gross. I don't think she's even married to the man. And I use the term perhaps loosely, although the man looks like a man. But don't be fooled. And she looks like a lady, except she's got a mouthful of teeth and playing world leader. I mean, the mouthful of teeth is okay to have. It's okay to have if you have a mouthful of teeth, but she has a mouthful of teeth. You know what I mean by that? Like, kind of horsey face a little bit. It's cute, kind of. Except that she's evil. I made fun of her for, look at that. She got a mouthful of teeth. Don't make fun of people's appearance. It's wrong. She's mildly attractive. maybe even more than mildly, but she's getting past time, you know, if you know what I mean. Nice, relatively mid-dark brown hair, I guess. But come on, it's not good for you to be a prime minister. And she's of the Communist Party over there, which they call Labor, I assume. So that's her. Doesn't she look like she needs to grow into that pantsuit, like get fatter? Not that she needs to, but the pantsuit doesn't seem to be, it seems to be hanging on her. Like my clothes, I've gotten maybe skinnier, been out all this time, a little bit, not cute. And so my clothes are like hanging on me, and her clothes are really hanging on her. Those teeth, mildly unattractive. I'm reading the chat. I disavow the chat. Doesn't it look like that? Santa Claus. She's like too skinny. Like she's swimming in those clothes. Like she's a little girl wearing her daddy's clothes or mommy's clothes if mommy's a businesswoman. Shameful. We are over the top of the hour, guys. I may touch on, speaking of health tragedies, Celine Dion, and then I will get to Mike Leach on callers. I will get to you. Now is time, we're past time for some music. And this time, I think I want to play Sufjan Stevens first, and then Phil Hahn and Steve Johnson last. So this track is a Christmas song called O Come, Emmanuel. Emmanuel means God with us through Jesus. Isn't that nice? So enjoy this Christmas music, and it should be Christmas every day of the year. Hat tip to Lin Yan Chin. You musical Philistines, grin and bear it. I think you will like it, maybe. If you don't mind soft, beta, liberal voice of a very talented Sufjan Stevens musician. A Christian musician, but a liberal. Here we go, and I'll be back for the rest of hour 2.
Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Oh, come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, designers made. In ancient times did still the law. In cloud and majesty and awe. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice.
So good. Is it not? Yes, it is. That was so good. And I think you guys agreed. This sounds sweet, says Lord Bibby42. Merry Christmas, y'all, says D's Subversion. Nice name. Hake on the banjo. Yes, that was a banjo. But that was I've never played banjo to my knowledge. Whatever. Better than Frog Eyes, says Lady Seasal. You're lying. It's relaxing? Unplugged. I'm glad Hake finally found some music that isn't screeching Christian embarrassment from 1996, says Eon. Stop talking about 90-pound wuss. You put respect on 90-pound wuss's name. This isn't bad. Mildly attractive music, says Ashley. Shout out to the Facebook crew. I don't usually like Christmas music with a banjo, says Lisa. Oh my gosh. OMG. Oh gosh. I can't listen to this, says Frederick, the supposedly great. And he has a bunch of laughing emojis. Lady Seasal says, Frederick, it's called good music. Nice. Indeed. Somebody else said mildly attractive music on a different platform, Smashly. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I agree. It's good music. How many Grammys did they win? Says Frederick the Great. Yeah, okay. Appeal to authority, buddy. That's what that is. False authority. Grammys. 2. I spit at the notion of the Grammys deciding what's good music. So, anyway, thank you guys for enjoying that beautiful music. Let me get to Brian in North Carolina. He's been on hold for some time. He has a comment on some comedian. Brian in NC, what is up?
Hey, what's going on, Hake? How you doing?
Hey, doing well, thank you.
Nice. Yeah, before I ask you about the comedian, Frederick has no idea what he's talking about.
You don't think
with
so?
The Patriot missile. Heck no. Not one iota, man. Let me tell you something. I served in the Army 8 years. I was a Patriot missile operator / maintainer.
Nice.
That was my job.
Okay.
And nobody is shooting missiles every day.
In Fort Worth or wherever he said?
Anywhere. Anywhere. If
Right.
you only knew how expensive that whole regime of military defense is, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I believe
We
that.
can't. Yeah, man. I've never seen a live fire because
Wow.
it's like a gift as a Patriot missile operator to be able to actually see a live fire happen.
Wow. Yeah. That is
Because it happens
interesting.
it happens like once a year, and then the people who get to go are like selected to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
That's
lost
pretty
on
funny.
that one. Yeah.
So take
But,
that, Frederick, with your misinformation. Misinformation,
I know.
Frederick.
You know what? I blame the NFL because almost every black guy I know thinks that they're a head coach and they can call plays better than the people calling the plays.
That's funny.
It's
man.
so amazing.
Nice.
But I called because I laugh when you do this, man, because it's funny to me. You make this sound like psh, whenever
Yeah.
you hear BS, bogus speech.
Right.
And it reminds me of this comedian. His name's Ed Bassmaster, and he's a family-friendly comedian as far as I can see. but he has a sketch where he walks around as his character, and he approaches people without saying anything, and then they say things, and he just looks at them and goes and walks away.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen this guy, some of his videos. He's a weird-looking guy, or at least he puts on a weird-looking look. And I've seen him on YouTube. I just searched him. His real name
remind me of him.
That's funny, man. His real name is Edwin Rodriguez. Yeah, he's 49 years old. Yeah, or something. Nationality
Ask
American.
Nick if he knows him.
Okay. You know what? Nick is maybe the one who showed him to me. I don't know. Maybe. But
I don't know.
Funny, man. That is really funny.
Yeah, you should start. I can see you now putting your hands up and throwing them away with the.
Nice.
No,
well, I appreciate that.
Your show's doing great, man. I enjoy watching your show.
Cool, man.
And keep it up, brother. I wish you well. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Brian in North Carolina. Take care, man.
Thanks, sir. You as well.
All right. Maybe that's where I got it. 2.57 million subscribers. So he is my competitor, my fellow YouTuber, while I last on that platform, which I think I might. Who knows? We don't know. No one can predict the future except for Jesus and prophets inspired by God. Nice. You know these women who, in my opinion, they violate children and they're sick and they're gross and they push this gender mess on the children. One such woman was, or is, I guess, Celine Dion, the singer from that song on that movie that I never watched, that trendy, hyped movie, Titanic, with that Leonardo DiCaprio and that woman, I forget who it was, maybe Kate Winslet or something. A phony, fake, false love story on a sinking ship, the unsinkable Titanic, unsinkable movie. Well, she sang some song on it, and she's, makes some good songs, right? Or has in the past. Well, she was part of this children's disgusting brand that all the movie stars and degenerate celebrities and entertainers put on their children, their supposed children. New, whatever it was, that children's brand or fashion brand, black and white, and it made the children genderless. I've covered her a couple of times, Celine Dion, her pushing that. This was a few years back. Well, she's reaping the rewards. Well, I don't know if that's fair to say. This might be kind of mean to put it like this. I'm saying this, but I'm joking. She's reaping the rewards of her sin against the children. Now, I'm joking about that, but pray for Celine Dion. She has a rare neurological syndrome. All the best stars are getting brain diseases. You hear about that? First it was, who's that guy, that Die Hard guy whose name I can't remember ever? And then it was Brad Pitt, can't recognize faces, I heard, something like that. I'm blanking on his name. I'm searching for his name. But anyway, the beloved singer Celine Dion has postponed several tour dates after being diagnosed with a rare syndrome. Yeah, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis has some disease thing of the brain. Aw. I don't like death and sickness and stuff. I don't think. CNN reported this last Friday. Affects something like 1 in a million people, this Celine Dion lady has. And I use the term lady loosely. I don't even know what the name of the song was that she sang on that dumb movie. I'm calling it dumb and I haven't even seen it. Talk about ignorant Hake. 54 years old. She posted an emotional video post last Thursday to her verified Instagram account. So she's postponing tour dates. What is she, Justin Bieber or something like that? Stiff person syndrome, I guess is the name of it. Rare progressive syndrome affects the nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Symptoms may include extreme muscle stiffness, rigidity, and painful spasms. Maybe that's what I have. Me celebrating her misfortune. My heart will go on. I thought it might be that. I don't know. Which I can't even. I just know there's one part where it goes, forever. Something like that. I'm not going to try. I'll never let you go, Jack. And she lied. She let him go. Didn't she? Not to spoil the movie that I never saw. If you guys are planning to see it, I think he dies. Or we can only assume he did. But he wasn't even a real person. Dion struggled with her health for a while, she said. Anyway, she's a Grammy winner. Oh, yeah, she won the Grammy over that guy who allegedly killed himself with a steak knife. Over that half-Japanese girl. Elliott Smith wrote some song like Miss Misery, right? Didn't he? I think something like that. For that other movie with that cringy guy who killed himself. I call him cringy because I don't like that. I don't like his style, that comedian guy who killed himself. Emotional. Robin Williams. Miserable stars, huh? Whatever. I don't recognize America anymore. Just call me old. A shout out to the boomers and the old people. Was this guy old? Mike Leach. I didn't know who Mike Leach was. 2016, he said, "I'm sorry, I thought this was America." What, this is not America? William from California, my caller yesterday, told me about this man who died, football coach, I guess. I don't guess. According to Wikipedia, he is. Wikipedia never lies. Sounds like an old school man, or close to it. Sometimes these old school men say something based and they apologize later, but this man, to my knowledge, did not. This was a tweet from Don Jr. There he is, 10 years ago, 2012. Mike Leach, football, looks like a football coach there. With a black man behind him. Don Jr., our greatest president's son, said, "Rest in peace, a legend." R.I.P. means rest in peace. This original video was tweeted from one supposed reporter. I can only assume he's a reporter. He has the last name of a reporter. Aaron Levine, a reporter or some singer. 2016, here's WSU coach, whatever that is. I don't know. Mike, what is that, Washington State? I can only guess, but I don't have no idea. Mike Leach asked if he worries about any blowback given his support of our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. This was in November 2016, after Trump was elected. But he was the president-elect at that point. His answer won't surprise you, says Aaron Levine. Blue check on Twitter. November 14th, 2016. And so here's clip 12, reshared by American Firebrand. Mike Leach responds to blowback over his support for Trump. And here's what he says. Mike Leach, guys.
I quite honestly don't care because I respect their opinion and their choice to select anybody that they want to be their candidate. I mean, do we really live in a country where you can't freely support whoever you want? Is that what you're suggesting? And is it their prerogative to ask for that? I don't think it is. You know, we've always had freedom of speech, always had the right to protest, and I think that should be respected as long as it's in an orderly fashion. You know, I respect their opinion, and I'm certainly not going to hide from my opinion. And I shouldn't be asked to. And if I am asked to, I live in a different country than we were all told that we grew up in.
Nice. Old school. Very cool. Mike Leach, rest in peace, man. He's all, do we really live in a country where you can't freely support whoever you want? I'm not going to hide from my opinion, and I shouldn't be asked to. That's what that guy Kyrie should have said. He should have said, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. It's not America? Kyrie Irving. And I don't even know what Kyrie Irving said or shared or did. Coach Leach, Leach, was a Senator John Kennedy type of person. Very based, says a Bigg Bump. And some other tips from Bigg Bump, by the way. I learned, speaking of in contrast, the females, that Jacinda Ardern is also born in July, like Hake, a year before me, a little less than a year before me. July 26, 1980, Jacinda Ardern. Keke Palmer, he says. Keke Palmer, that woman who I almost threw up at the sight of her pregnant belly. I didn't really almost throw up, but I just do find it in very poor taste. And not, you shouldn't be showing that, put it that way. Has a baby daddy / boyfriend, and he is younger than her, shaking his head. And I join you in shaking mine. Terrible. Keke Palmer, she's that black Saturday Night Live sick person, sick in the head. Shout out to Bigg Bump. Did you know that you can give super chats on Rumble? Rumble.com/The Hake Report. And there's, just click that money bag, and you don't get money, you give it. But you can also super chat on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@The Hake Report /live, or streamlabs.com/The Hake Report /tip. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate that. And thank you, Bigg Bump, for the tips. Indeed. Hake is disgusted by pregnancy. No, it's just the showing off of it. It's supposed to be like clothed and shouldn't be hosting a show or doing some monologue. Who wants to hear a monologue from Keke Palmer, pregnant-bellied Keke Palmer, on Saturday Night Live anyway? Is she even funny? Maybe she is. She is black, right? Might be entertaining anyway. Some people say that women are not funny, but I, of course, disavow because I'm not a sexist person, just like Don Lemon. It's so wrong. It's so backwards. They're polluting our stamps. Did you know that? This has been happening a long time. I read to you in Hake News at the end of one of the hours of the Jesse Lee Peterson show today. Beginning next year, you may see some familiar faces. Faces that you got used to not having to look at. Back on your mail. Luckily, most of us don't even just throw most of our mail in the trash if we even look at it. If we do you guys even check your emails anymore? But anyway, emails seem so passé. I don't even check my DMs. I have a backlog of text messages. 86 unread text messages. 9 missed calls and stuff. 3,514. Well, a lot of that's Telegram and Discord. I don't check Discord at all. I have a Discord. Well, anyway. So anyway, like, I shouldn't be, I'm not bragging, but that's the good thing, is that these people are going on obsolete stuff like postage stamps. I shouldn't celebrate the obsolescence of postage stamps, if that's a word. But John Lewis, I'm putting the ugly face on, makes me want to spit. The late civil rights trailblazer, communist lying sleaze, hate monger, hate-filled person, phony. I only delete emails that says it's the real Mr. Mad. That's what I should be doing. Oh my gosh, goodness. And he's a Congress male, or was. He's dead now. John Lewis, a Trump hater, just like all the phony black politicians, except for except for Tim Scott. Tim Scott probably hated him, but worked with him. And Trump worked with him. I'm shaking my head about that rhino. Not the real Tim Scott who's in my chat, if he is still in my chat. So he'll be honored in a new postage stamp in 2023. John Lewis. Got that perpetual scowl face. He was a younger male, during the so-called civil rights heyday of the 60s. And he got maced or pepper sprayed or beaten or something like that. And he's been resting on his laurels ever since. And now he's resting in peace, maybe. Or in no peace. I don't know. The corrupt U.S. Postal Service announced Tuesday that he'll be on a stamp, his face on a stamp. They're honoring all the disgusting people. Another disgusting person, woman. He's a woman at heart, right? Or was. The bad kind of woman. We love women here on the Hake Report, if we love anybody. Several other perverted icons will be on stamps, including the late so-called Supreme Court, quote-unquote, Justice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who wanted 100% women on the Supreme Court. Then we would have achieved equality, she said, which we shouldn't have. Affectionately named Notorious RBG by baby killer radicals. Like Commie Nonsense Network. They love mass murder, including of killing the babies. She will have a stamp in her honor. And I said that's to America's shame. Oh my gosh! I'm reacting to seeing the picture of her. I have to share this with you. I'm taking a screenshot now. Thank God for computers, right? Or Satan. Hell. Ruth, it's a pretty cool looking stamp, I have to admit. So I'm dragging this screenshot in the folder. Ruth Bader Ginsburg will be honored on a new postage stamp. I like the colors. They're trying to make her look all tough and dignified. You know, she's old. I like that. I respect old people. Well, she's dead now, but there she is. Isn't that a cool looking stamp? Forever USA. Terrible. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg in like gold, almost looking tannish, brownish letters. Cool. Isn't that a nice looking stamp, though? You gotta admit. I think. With her dumb doily thing on her collar. Ridiculous. Lacy doily, whatever you call that thing. You know those things that you set a teapot on? She cut a hole in it and wrapped it around her head, around her neck. Whatever you call that thing. Collar thing. What a silly person. Rest in peace, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She died. And Trump was really sad to hear about that. I mean, Satan looks cool too, says Max Rex. Yeah. Are you serious? Hassan says, didn't LeBron James wear that around his neck in tribute? LOL. Really? I want to see do you have any picture of it? Can you like pull up a picture of it? He didn't. Hassan's making this up. Hassan falls for conspiracy theories, I want to say, because he's a rapper. And so I don't believe that LeBron didn't like her. He likes everything evil, but he didn't like her. She was the one evil that he didn't like. Right? Don't we have a mailman in the chat? Maybe I shouldn't dox him. I feel like there's people who are mail carriers, mailman. There was a female mailman who got killed, I think. Because she was delivering, she got killed over a check because she wouldn't deliver the China virus check to some blacks because their dog kept on molesting her or bothering her, harassing her. What do dogs do? Like barking at her or whatever? You didn't find any picture of LeBron. Oh, no. That's photoshopped. No. No, and that guy was next to him in the other clip. This person. There's another basketball player there. I forget who that is. We're looking at a photo of two black dudes. Big ol' black dudes. Anthony Davis, is that what it is? Huh. Oh, it's a Babylon Bee fake? It's Babylon Bee. Is it Babylon? Nick says it's Babylon Bee. Yeah, that has to be. No, this is real. Hassan says it's real. Nicolas, host of Nick's stream, who never falls for anything untrue, says that it's from Babylon Bee. It's got to be Photoshopped. Yeah. I think that they're making fun of it because they only worship dead fake black POC martyrs. It's fake. Okay. Okay. Anthony Davis, Lakers teammate. I still don't believe you guys, even though two people now have told me. Two basketball fans. New York Times article. There was a New York Times article on that hoax. Yeah. LeBron James only wears I Can't Breathe t-shirts. There was an Italian article also. Calling it a bufala, meaning hoax. Okay, yeah. Funny. It's kind of like, though, we won't let him live it down. We'll just say that he did it, just like what they did to our queen, who said, I can see Russia from my backyard up in Alaska. And she didn't actually say that. That was an SNL hoax. They accused Sarah Palin of saying that, and she never said that. Oops. Bumping the mic here. So we'll just say LeBron James wore a doily over his... The fake report, says Eric. It's real, says Sion. I don't believe you, Sion. I saw him be rapping about the flat earth, says Simon said. That's not true. I wouldn't put anything past LeBron James. Real enough for me, says Nick. I know, they believe in fake things like Black Lives Matter. Oh, Mr. Matt says, real enough for me. Yeah, they believe in fake things like Black Lives Matter. They may as well prop up this black-hearted RBG, notorious RBG, named after the notorious B.I.G. Big boy. I'm mixing up rap culture stuff. Anyway, meanwhile, the invasion is incoming, as if it hasn't been going on for decades. I think I read this to you guys in, the real shirt has a Black Lives Matter on it. Thank you, Bigg Bump. I knew that, I think. Sick. CNN reports the Biden administration is facing we were just talking about LeBron wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. Embarrassing. Mama's boy. The Biden administration is facing a December deadline to terminate a public health authority known as Title 42. And who's making them do that? Some dumb judge, no doubt. Dumb liberal judge. And they're dumb liberals, too. They don't want to protect the country. They only want to do that just to protect their image, so they can keep their power and let them flood in, but be controlled chaos to the point where they can get away with it. But seriously subvert the country, which they've done, and they're continuing to do. Title 42 was invoked at the onset of the COVID pandemic, really the China virus scam-demic, I call it. Some say that's coming back, mask mandates, RSV, whatever that is, the flu, and the China virus, all coming back in spades. And that is not a slur. Title 42 allowed officials to turn away migrants, meaning illegal invaders, who were pretending to be asylum seekers. Oh, I'm an economic refugee. I'm a refugee from all the crime in my corrupt country that I don't want to stay and fix. Encountered at the U.S. southern border. It should be standard practice. Why is it not standard practice to just turn around? No, we're closed. Go home. Officials prepared for a surge of migrants, illegals, invaders, ahead of the forced end of the Trump-era border policy, Title 42. Department of Homeland Security deployed additional agents in El Paso, Texas. Thousands of migrants have been attempting to cross the border daily. Illegals. They call them migrants now. It's a new word as of the past few years now, right? I think. Administration officials have also received a steady stream of calls from Democrat and Republican lawmakers, state and local officials too, on the merits of the authority, Title 42. Yeah, we got to keep it in place. And they don't want to keep it in place just because of the China virus scare. Although Trump, JLP has been talking about the illegal aliens disease, we're not being xenophobic, though, Sleepy Joe Biden. But they come in here, many of them unchecked, perhaps most of them unchecked, untold numbers unchecked with their diseases, and the diseases get crazier. And globalism makes the diseases crazier. They're spreading stuff. And then all of a sudden we have the China virus. Well, what about the illegal alien disease? We don't want to do that. That's racist and xenophobic. Dumb. But the main issue is not the health concern about Title 42. It's the invasion. It's the invasion. So if we're concerned about the invasion, let's do a new title. Let's do Title 156 or something. Or Title 86. You're banned. Nice. Let's ban the illegals from the country. 86, like bars 86 people. All the calls echoed the consistent concerns about the termination of Title 42, what it will mean along the border in the coming weeks. And by the way, the diseases are coming back anyway. No human is illegal, Hake. Yes, they are. We're not aliens, we're humans. Yes, you are. Your values are alien to the values, the founding values of the country of freedom, real Christianity, not this Catholic stuff, right? Shout out to the Catholics. We love the Catholics, if we love anybody. Let's drop Title 9 first. Yes, Ian, which is short for Christian, little Christ. Drop Title 9, the dumb anti-discrimination laws of the fake civil rights movement, communist infiltration, subversion movement thing. Speaking of the students, Title 9 has to do with students too, right? Oh, women in education, gender, transgender bathrooms. No, they're trying to force it in. Speaking of that mess, let's talk about the student loans. I don't think I got to this on Hake News today. Indoctrinated loans. They loan you money to indoctrinate you, poison your mind, and then they make you pay for it, or they make you not pay for it. They make everybody else pay on your behalf or something. I don't know. CNN says, it's also known as student loans. Student loan forgiveness. We've been hearing about this forever. Commie Nonsense Network says about 9 million people have received emails from the Department of Education, which Reagan should have closed down. Ronald Reagan, second best president in my lifetime, maybe, perhaps, probably, that mistakenly said their application for student loan forgiveness had been approved. Imagine getting an email from the Department of Education. Oh, your loan has been approved. Oops. It's like as corruption increases, so does incompetence, which is the same thing. Thus far, no one has received any debt forgiveness from the Sleepy Biden administration's debt relief program because it remains blocked by federal courts. Based judges. We love judges when they deny students their free stuff. Dumb college students. Hey, you could benefit from an education. I got that. In art. From a Christian college. While there are some borrowers who were already deemed eligible for debt forgiveness by the Department of so-called Education, which they should get rid of, borrowers should not expect to see relief unless the so-called Supreme Court allows the program to move forward. The 9 million borrowers, leeches, brainwashed leeches, lemmings, who received the inaccurate emails. Wow, 9 million people. Last month, have now started to receive new emails from the government correcting the human error. No, we don't laugh at the misfortune of people. The false hopes getting dashed by Sleepy Joe. Corruption loves incompetence because it can hide behind it. That's true. That is true. I'm getting lightheaded from all this yelling in hot air. Terrible. Dummies. Sorry, kids. Really, I should be saying sorry, adults. Am I really sorry if I keep on saying it? I guess I'm not sorry. No, I know I'm not sorry. But I do have like a qualm about it. Let me read some super chats. Maybe Sion has a clean message to clean up all of the cussing that Hake has been doing. Is it cussing to say dumb? No, but it's not nice. Star Sion with a super chat over on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. She states, people are not individuals nowadays. If you were probably out of control and your topics are degenerate. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me read this as read, as written. Star Sion. I believe she's Ethiopian or something like that. The original Jews. Christian country, Ethiopia, right? Problems over there. She states, people are not individuals nowadays. If you were probably out of control and your topics are degenerate, curse words, you'll probably get more people following you. True. Most people now like to follow wrong as cool. Keep calling out evil. Hank. Thank you. I get the message. I get it. Either the wording is slightly off or Hake's reading comprehension is slightly off, or both. But I comprehend it. Let's see. If you were out of control and your topics were degenerate and using curse words, I'd probably have more people following me. Because people like to follow wrong as though it's cool. Well, thank you, Star Sion. I think that's her saying, there, Hake. You have a small following. It's only because you're not degenerate. Thank you, Star Sion. Appreciate that. Nice. Brian D says, what a mess. Get the bar of soap. Put it in the mouth. That's what they used to do in movies or something. Wash your mouth out with soap for saying bad words. It's true. It's true. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Star Sion. Thanks for the support and the super chat. Let's talk about Sandy Hook. Do you want to? Probably not. Well, today is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022 AD. And on December 14th, 2012 AD, I might remember this day. I went to a restaurant that day, I think, called Islands. You guys ever been to Islands? It's a chain burger joint. I like Islands. It's a chain. I already said that. With my boss and my coworker at my other job. There is one in Burbank. I went to one in Covina, I want to say. Covina, shout out to Covina. And I remember my boss and my coworker talking about this mass murder that went down. I hadn't heard about it. At Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Today, according to Commie Nonsense Network, CNN loves mass murder. They lick their chops anytime innocent people get killed, such as babies or children, school people, events like that, so they can blame the gun or say, yes, men don't have any rights to their children. Women get to kill the children, the babies, inside the womb. They support abortion. December 14th, 2012, a gun mail. And they don't like to name them. Oh, we're not going to give notoriety to this killer. Adam Lanza, I'm naming him. Not because I think he's a hero or has notoriety or people should do copycat. They pretend they're going to stop copycat crimes when they're giving all this coverage to this stuff and celebrating it and keeping it in front of our faces and spreading degeneracy and anti-Christianity and messed up families, Like they're spreading mass murder. You know what I mean? By spreading loss of morals or something. It's true. Many different symptoms cause even more symptoms. Problems. Spreading anger, like fake notion of black victimhood, like Black Lives Matter and feminism. Just sick stuff. Oh, but we're not going to spread this because we're not going to say his name. We're not going to say Adam Lanza's name or that other guy. I'm forgetting the Uvalde killer, mass murderer. I'm blanking on his name. Somebody tell me his name so I can say his name. Oh, we're only going to say the name of the victims. Salvador Ramos. Not to turn him into a hero. He's not. But he was a messed up person, just like the common nonsense people. And they're doing every bit as much destruction as he did in different ways. Yeah, Adam Lanza, he over in Newtown, Connecticut, he had some mental problem. But he had spiritual problems. He was disconnected from his father for 2 years, I want to say. His father said, I wish he had never been born. Crazy. His father wishes his son was never born. And they had an only child, I want to say. I could be wrong. He killed his ex-wife. Adam Lanza killed his mother, his own mother, meaning the father's ex-wife, with whom he lived. He lived with her, and he was in his early 20s. Adam Lanza, the weird face guy. People say that I have like the look of, I shouldn't say that, of a, the crazy eyes of a mass murderer. I like stumble. I don't want to say it because I have like the crazy eyes. Like Adam Lanza had to look like this. If you're not watching the stream, you didn't see it, but a lot of these whites and everybody have like traumatized look on their face. And there was a crazed guy who shot up Gabby Giffords. Weird guy. A weird guy who shot up Gabby Giffords, a female politician who's for gun control, dumb woman. Poor lady. She survived a shooting. But this guy was he had the SSRIs or whatever you call those things, the drugs, and then he got off the drugs, or many of these people do who end up shooting up places. And they go into places that are ducks in a barrel, like schools, gun-free zones. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me go to a place where I know nobody's going to be armed. That's what Dylan Roof did. He thought about going to drug dealers, but he's all, no, drug dealers shoot back. Dylan Roof, the guy who shot up the black church. And so let me go into a church. Participate in a Bible study. Oh, these people are really nice. I almost don't want to do this. Let me do it. I'm committed to this race war that I want to start, even though the race war is already happening. What a dummy. Dylan Roof. Another male from a messed up family, disconnected from his father, right? On drugs, or he did some drugs, right? Got into the white thing. Because he saw that they were lying about imaginary racism against blacks. Black victimhood. And then he found black on white crime is out of control. He was like, you guys are raping our white women. And he thought that was a good idea to do. What a shame. I think he's still alive. He's on like death row, right? Or is he? Dylan, this Adam Lanza guy, he's dead too. I think did he kill himself or was he shot? So these dumb victims' families, these shootings happen in these liberal towns where these dumb liberal parents, and yeah, of course, we don't wish any ill on them and stuff like that. It's sad, it's messed up that their children got killed, but then they have the wrong solutions to these things. So then the parents of these different mass murders, whose daughter or son or whoever gets killed, they become activists against the Second Amendment and pretending they're for gun safety. Every town for gun safety. Dumb. Tonight, CNN has a special report by Alison Camerota. Alisyn. Should be Alisin, because you're sinning, Alison Camerota. What is that, Italian? Not a normal white. Sandy Hook, forever remembered. Well, if you're going to forever remember it, you're forever remembering mass murder, which you love and you support, even if you pretend not to. There's a decade-long fight among the impacted families to enact positive change. They just exploit these people. Talk about Sleepy Joe Biden saying they're cynical laws going up all over the country against these trans kids. These are cynically using dumb, useful idiot. Sorry, kids. It is a technical term, useful idiot. Useful idiots for evil. Victims' families to push fake solutions, misdiagnosing the problem, and all that stuff. Paul Rao says, earlier that day, before driving to the school, Lanza shot and killed his mother at their new town home. As first responders arrived at the school, Lanza died by suicide, shooting himself in the head. Man. Not a man. It's kind of like what I was talking about with, we have a messed up, spoiled, corrupt society. And I was listening to Nick's stream. I mentioned this yesterday and the day before, maybe, in which 14-year-olds are depressed and call themselves depressed and miserable and in their rooms and on the internet and not living life and working and stuff. Yes, 14-year-olds should be working, I think. But instead, we have so much leisure, and idle hands are the devil's workshop, right? Right? Doesn't the Bible say something like a man of God rarely reflects on his days because God keeps him occupied with gladness of heart? Something like that, but that's not what's happening today. Misery. Last quick story before we end here. We're almost at 5 minutes till. I mentioned this in Hake News. CNN says 17. That's how many people on death row were informed Tuesday their sentences will be commuted by outgoing Oregon Governor Kate Brown. What a silly-looking, nerdy woman. I picture her in my mind. I don't have a picture for you guys. She's leaving after she called the death penalty dysfunctional and immoral. And I said in Hake News, she's dysfunctional and immoral. Shaking my head here. All the 17 inmates, who knows what they did to deserve the death penalty. Oh, maybe some of them are falsely convicted. Yeah, right. Who knows, though? Will spend life in prison without the possibility of parole, per a statement from her lame office. Most recent execution in Oregon was 1997. That's like 25 years ago, roughly. Or more, or maybe more. By lethal injection. No wonder crime is going out of control in Portland, Oregon. Isn't that where the MAGA guy, the Patriot prayer man, a religious man, Trump called him, got shot point blank in the chest by an Antifa male feminist 50-something-year-old male with a daughter who later got shot by the feds, according to the story? They shot him. We got a MAGA one right here. You got one right here? Blam. Shot him. Killed him. I think that was in Portland. Maybe it was Seattle, but I think it was Portland. Right there on the streets. Sick people. Anyway, this has been the Hake Report, guys. Thanks for joining. I do appreciate it. Let's listen to some music. This time it's Phil Hahn and Steve Johnson singing Mary Did You Know? Nice song. Bye, guys.
Did you know? Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered would soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hands? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you kiss this little baby, you kiss the Son of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? The sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Mary, did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know? Your son